I told my wife, I'm like, babe, hey, do you want to do a half marathon? Like, you just want to finish this thing out? And both of us were like, oh man, that might be a little bit too much to chew off today. But I did say, let's go the extra mile. Let's do the one more. Let's do that one final mile to round it out at 10 miles. And so we did. And that one extra mile, guys, is a big deal. That one more is a big deal. And where oftentimes we quit short of something because it gets hard, that actually degrades our momentum big time, way bigger than we ever think. That actually degrades our ability to think big. That actually makes us think smaller immediately. Now, every other thing that we do, we're going to think smaller. We're going to think we can't do it. We're going to limit our beliefs on what we can do.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Carrot Cast. Now, the Carrot Cast, we're usually diving in doing interviews with amazing real estate investors, amazing real estate agents. Now, in these episodes, every Thursday, they're the Trevor Truck Talks, where you get to hear behind the scenes of the mindset shifts I'm going through as a CEO of one of the fastest growing companies in America, and the mindset shifts you can take to run your business and win back your freedom as well. Let's dive into this episode.
What's up, guys? Guys, this is like my favorite time of the year out here in Oregon. I'm recording this in summer in July. My birthday was last week. I'm going to be talking about this on this episode, my 40th birthday. And little cliffhanger here for you, but I hadn't really ran like probably more than a half a mile, maybe a mile max in a year. I did 75 hard last year. I rode 500 miles on my bike in a month. The month before I did 75 hard. I learned how to swim last year. But then going into this year, I realized I've been coasting physically. I've been working hard on work, spending lots of time with family and really growing family-wise, faith-wise. But physically, I kind of let that one go a little bit. And, I talk about the 6 Fs. I've talked about the 6 Fs before here on the podcast, and I talk about it at Carrot Camp and other events. Guys, go to carrotcamp.com, register for the next one. Spots are open right now. They'll sell out fast. But anyway, I talk about the 6 Fs, and you can't always be like a 5 out of 5 on all 6 of the Fs. Faith, family, friends, fitness, finances, and fun. You really can't always be a 5 out of 5. And so at some parts in your life, you want to focus on something, and, things need to go that direction. And some other things are probably going to slide a little bit, and it's okay. It's okay. We have to be okay with that. But waking up on my 40th birthday, I said, man, I don't want to coast physically anymore because, the energy and health and all those types of things, I'm still very, very young, but they don't get better in general with age, right? So you have to work on it. You have to work hard on it. And energy is a big thing for me. If I'm not bringing energy, to me, that's energy's life-giving, and also the energy that we bring into the world, into our workplace, into our home, into our friendships, those things like that. That's the energy that our friends and our family and our coworkers pick up, and then they radiate whatever we're putting out, including if it's negative energy, right? And so I woke up and I'm like, man, I've got to shock the system to get something going, because I've been working out for 3 days a week, and I want to see if you guys relate to this. I've been working out 3 days a week. I've been feeling good, right? My coach, Paul, still comes in 3 days a week into the office, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We work out, have amazing time with my friend and mentor, Seth Ueckley, and David Littlejohn, good buddy of mine. He's been working out with us on those days as well now. And so it's been a good, solid maintenance mode, right? But for me, I'm not really pumped, and I don't really get my energy unless I'm growing, unless I have something that I'm going for, unless I'm doing something hard. And I've talked about doing hard things many, many times in the podcast, where doing hard things in the journey of trying to achieve the thing, the journey is the thing that actually gives you joy, right? The journey, not the reward, not the thing at the end of the rainbow, not the achievement. That doesn't give you joy. That's a fleeting moment of happiness, but it doesn't really give you lasting joy and fulfillment, right? It's like the growth along the way of the journey. And so I started looking physically, and I'm like, man, I really, really want to start a journey again physically, because I know whenever I do, every other part of my life gets better. Every other part of my life gets better. And so I wake up, my 40th birthday, we're up at the lake cabin at Lake of the Woods here in Oregon. It's about a 5,500 foot altitude, elevation. And I go, man, I haven't ran in almost a year, like measurably. I haven't really ran over a mile. And I woke up and I said, I'm going to run around the lake. And I knew the lake was like 8 or 9 miles. My wife thought it was 6 miles or so. And she hopped up with me. And that's one of the amazing things about having a very supportive spouse, guys, is your spouse can either drag you down or they can pull you up. And my wife, big time, pulls me up far more often than I ever get any feeling of being held back or dragged down. And so I woke up, strapped on my shoes. I did not want to do this. It was like the very last thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to do it, wasn't looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be a pain train. I knew it was not going to be fun in the moment. And I just said, hey, this is probably going to be a walk run. I'm going to walk a mile, run a mile, walk a mile, run a mile. Not trying to go for time. I'm just trying to go to finish. And I want to push my brain to do something that is so big that I don't think I can do it right now. Now, I've ran half marathons before, so 10 miles, isn't something I have not done before, but it's nowhere near what I've done in the past year. Like I said, I've really barely ran a mile probably, or maybe two in any one time this past year, where I did 75 hard, like I said, a year ago, rode 500 miles in a month on my bike, the month before that, a bunch of other things. And so I wake up, put on my shoes, get some water, and then head out on the trail with my wife. And long story short, we ended up running and we got to about mile 9 and we got back to the cabin. So the run was 9 miles, 5,000 plus elevation on a trail. And it's probably about 6 miles in, my knee started to hurt. I was going, man, it was behind my knee, probably one of those tendons or MCL ligament or whatever the heck it is. And my knee started to hurt. And my brain is starting to go, oh man, like you need to stop because this is going to be injury. And I said, okay, is this going to injure me? What can I do to adjust what I'm doing to make sure that I can still keep going? And so I just kind of adjusted my run a little bit, my gait. I said, I'm just going to push through this unless it turns into a sharp pain. Now, normally most people would just stop, right? And I probably would have 6 months ago or 3 months ago too. But normally people would have just stopped and they said, well, this hurts, I'm just going to walk. And I said, well, that's not why I'm out here. I'm out here because I wanted this to be hard, right? Because I needed to have a shock to the system. And if you want to change in your life, whether it's your business or fitness or health or whatever it is, there's 2 ways to create that change. One way to create that change is we can ease into it. We can ease into that thing. We can say, hey, this is going to be easy. I'm just going to ease into this and we're going to make it happen. Another way to do it is to shock the system. And those 2 ways are both good. They're both valid, but they also both create completely different levels of change and speeds of change. Sometimes you need a shock to the system. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. Sometimes we can't just ease into it because easing into it is more of the same. It's more of what we've already been doing. And so we have to shock the system in that area. And so I'd been kind of trying to ease into it for the past several months, and it just hadn't hit me yet, right? And like it just hadn't hit me to where momentum picked up and to where things were clicking in my brain and things were getting momentum. And so I just said, cool, this is one of those moments I need to shock the system. And so whenever you need to shock the system and create quicker change, you have to choose something that's bigger than what you think you can do. You have to choose something that's more difficult than what you think you're capable of right now. You have to choose something that you literally go out there and go, I don't even know if I can do this thing. Like it can't be I can do this. It literally is a 50-50 coin flip whether you think you can even do that thing or not. And for me that morning, with how I'd been showing up physically the last few months, that was it. Running around the lake. When I don't like running, I hadn't ran really measurably in probably about a year. I'd been working out, but not really running. And 10 miles to me, 9 miles to me, 8, 9 miles to me felt like I could probably barely do it. That's why I told my wife I was going to walk a mile, run a mile, walk a mile, run a mile. So we get out there, a mile crosses. I'm like, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. So we keep on running. 2 miles cross. I'm like, okay, cool. I can keep going. I'll keep going. I might kind of stop, as it starts to hurt more. 5 miles in, I'm still running, have no plans on stopping. And then my brain starts to change at that point. Now it goes, I'm not doing a walk run. Okay. Because I've already blasted a limiting belief that I already had previously that this was going to be a walk run because I couldn't handle it. And now I'm saying like, no, this is not going to be a walk run. This is absolutely going to be me running the whole time. And I'm not going to stop. And so somewhere around that time, things change chemically in the brain to where we start to believe we can do bigger, to where we start to realize that we're thinking too small before, to where we start to say, what else am I limiting myself on during this run? What else am I limiting on myself on in this life, in my life? What else am I limiting myself on anywhere here, right? And so I get 6 miles in and my knee starts to hurt. And like I said before, and I started to kind of walk a little bit. I stretched it out a little bit. It was like behind my knee. I'm going, man, I don't want to pop a ligament or something. And so I said, okay, I came out here for this to be hard. I did not come out here for this to be easy. So I'm getting exactly what I asked for. I'm getting exactly what I asked for. And thank you, God, for giving me what I asked for, which is for this to be hard. Now, it was in a different way. It was in a different way. I didn't want my knee to hurt, but he did. He gave me a bum knee at that time. And so I just said, cool, let's just keep pushing through this. I did. The knee stopped hurting probably a mile more, about 7 miles in. Everything else started hurting about 8 miles in. And I was just tired, not like winded tired, not that kind of tired, but I was just tired. My ankles were tired. My Achilles tendons were tight. My calves were tight and tired, all those things. And so we started to get closer to the cabin. There was a big uphill part of it. And I knew, I was just kind of doing the math. I knew we were going to land right about just over 9 miles to the cabin. Okay. So I said, okay, we're 9 miles in. And I told my wife, I'm like, babe, hey, do you want to do a half marathon? Like, you just want to finish this thing out? And both of us were like, oh man, that might be a little bit too much to chew off today. But I did say, let's go the extra mile. Let's do the one more. Let's do that one final mile to round it out at 10 miles. And so we did. And that one extra mile, guys, is a big deal. That one more is a big deal. And where oftentimes we quit short of something because it gets hard, that actually degrades our momentum big time, way bigger than we ever think. That actually degrades our ability to think big. That actually makes us think smaller immediately. Now, every other thing that we do, we're going to think smaller. We're going to think we can't do it. We're going to limit our beliefs on what we can do because we stopped short of the thing. Because when we said we were going to do 10 reps, it got hard at 8 and then we did 9 and we stopped short of the 10. That's going to degrade our ability to think big in the future for everything. Okay. So because we said we were going to run 9 miles and then I stop and start walking at 7, that's going to degrade the ability to do everything. Okay. So we have to think about, are we stopping short of something? And what else is that impacting our life? I guarantee it's impacting far more than you think. But on the opposite side of it, when you do one more, it's a magnifying impact. It's a magnifying effect that we can't even imagine what it does. And so when I was already tired, when I was already hurting, when I had already ran the entire thing, I didn't do a walk run. It was slow. It wasn't fast, but we finished it. And we did the extra mile. And then in my brain, I'm like, well, I'm just going to walk up the hill. It's a really steep hill to get back up to the cabin, probably 100 yards, 200 yards. I'm like, I'm just going to walk up the hill. I'm like, no, I can't walk up the hill. I've got to jog up the hill. And so I get to the bottom of the hill and I just start jogging, one foot in front of the other. It was not fast, but I didn't stop. And that's what I did to really push through that. And so by the time I finished this, y'all, my mind was expanded. Things were moving fast in my mind. I was already like ready to take on more. Energy was there. I got back home for work. I'm not working this week, but I got back home. I was thinking about work. I was thinking about home. It's like everything else started to click. Things started to get better. Things started to get faster. I was starting to enjoy the challenge again in some of these areas. I got back, my first workout was easy. My body was hurting for a couple of days, but guys, my body feels better than it has in probably 6 months now because I pushed it past my limiting beliefs and did something really, really big for me in that moment. Okay. So I want to finish with this, guys, is ask you, what are you doing right now to grow and to get momentum? Have you shocked the system? Are you shocking the system? What do you need to do in order to grow? Number 2 is, are you trying to ease into growth or are you really stepping into growth full-heartedly? If you have been trying to ease into growth for a while, I would suggest that you do something to shock the system, and don't do it like in a week. Don't plan the thing. Literally wake up and do it. Wake up and shock the system, okay? You can't really shock the system by planning to shock the system in 2 weeks, right? So like literally wake up or think about tomorrow and say, I'm going to wake up and do this really hard thing tomorrow, okay? And then go do it. Whether you have support with other people doing it with you or whether you're doing it solo, go do it. And it's got to be something so big you don't think you can do it. It's got to be something so big you think it's a 50-50 shot on even accomplishing it. It's got to be something so big that you're looking at it going, oh man, this is going to hurt. This is not going to be fun. This is going to be a pain train, and I'm not going to like this. Okay, but I can guarantee you that you will like it when you're done with it. You're going to love the momentum, and then that momentum is going to carry you through in so many other areas. So guys, I'm heading into one of our apartment buildings right now that we're renovating, and going to dig in and get some other work done in this project here. But y'all, I just want to pass on this note. And like I said, I want you to challenge yourself today. I want you to really find a way to push through and do the hardest thing you possibly think you can do to get momentum. And I want you to share that with others so you can inspire others to do the same thing. And last, guys, if you want to connect in person, have this discussion in person on your journey, guys, I'm going to be in Dallas, Texas, August 31st through September 1st for an event called $1 Million Meeting. And $1 Million Meeting, there's going to be several hundred investors there. So many Carrot customers are going to be there, guys. We have a lot of our Carrot customers are going to be there. Bo Hollis is going to be speaking. Keith Sant is going to be speaking on SEO. Andy Kaloji, who's been on our podcast, he's going to be there. Christina Kudlock, who's crushing it with Carrot, is going to be speaking. The home buying guys, Adam and Lance out of Dallas, Texas, who started and built, they've been to 2 or 3 Carrot camps now. They built 7-figure wholesaling and flipping business in Dallas using Carrot. And now they're taking down multifamily properties. I'm investing in those multifamily properties with them. They're going to be there speaking. So many other people are going to be there. My team is going to be there. Guys, go to milliondollarmeeting.co/Carrot. We want to help you get momentum heading into the back part of this year. We want to help you get momentum heading into this next year. And that momentum, guys, is going to carry you through this market change. And so if you're wondering, like, what do I do to wade through this market change? What do I do to make sure that my business is healthy in this market change? Well, you've got to be around the right people. You've got to be around the right people, hearing the right advice, building those partnerships. And this is exactly where it's going to happen. That $500 ticket or $1,500 VIP ticket can literally change your business and change your life. The relationships you build in those after hours conversations, the tidbit that you're going to pick up at one of the workshops and sessions. And I want to meet you in person. This is not going to be a 1,000-person event, guys, by design. Carrot Camp was 15 people. $1 Million Meetings can be a couple hundred people. And we're doing it that way so it can be intimate, so we can spend time with you, so we can dig in with you deep and have real relationships. So guys, go to milliondollarmeeting.co. We already have some of our best and biggest customers signed up for it that are going to be flying in there. milliondollarmeeting.co/Carrot. Sign up with that URL with the /Carrot, because that indicates you're coming from Carrot, and we can put the little special tag on you so we can make sure that we are being able to communicate with you before the event, during the event, things like that. And guys, there's only a handful of VIP tickets left that allow you to have dinner with us each night and some other cool perks. And guys, I hope to see you in Dallas, Texas to get momentum in your business, momentum in your life. milliondollarmeeting.co/Carrot. Guys, build momentum, shock the system this week. Go out there and run the 10 miles. Let me know on Instagram, find me on IG. Let me know what you're going to do to shock the system. Bye, guys. Talk soon.